I'm not doing it on purpose, but like I'm kind of matching because like the infuser, we got a yellow and green. I got a little yellow and green. You know, just kind of worked out. Sometimes things just happen. Things just happen. Oh my gosh, I'm not ready. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a lovely day out there today. We're listening to a little Queen. Sorry, I got the wire in my way. We were listening to Queen. We're listening to the track The Fairy Feller's Master Stroke. This is off of the album Queen 2, released in 1974. Now, we're listening to this track because it was suggested and sponsored by Nola. Thank you so much, Nola. I appreciate the support and the recommendation. Now, Nola specifically said that while listening to this track, I have to be looking at the painting of which this track is based off of, by Richard Dadd. So, here on my end, just so you guys can at least see, pull you guys up here. So, of course, I have the lyrics for the song here. I have the album, because I always have this up so I can look at it. And here's the painting itself. And then here's some information on the painting. I haven't looked at any of the information. I just pull everything up. Bop, 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 bop. That way we can go ahead and go from there. So, we're going to listen to the track. We'll, of course, look at the painting as we're listening to it. We'll dive on into it. And that's all I got to say. Let's go ahead and dive in. We'll talk about it in a moment. Here we go. I had to pull it up. Guess I should bring these guys up. Oh, that's great. Some great instrumentation here. Where are they? I'm trying to find these characters as she's naming them. This is really cool. Like, this is a harpsichord. The quick tickling of the keys. Okay, hands on. Okay, it's just leading into the next track. Okay. We have a lot to... we got a lot to discuss. This is basically a painting reaction and a music reaction. That was a fun time, right? Okay, first of all, I wish that I could zoom in on the painting a little bit more. Really quickly, I'm just going to look for maybe the source of art, perhaps in another place where I can actually zoom into it and see, you know, clear the details. I was trying to listen to the words as I was watching the painting, trying to find the characters on the painting and stuff like that. And I heard some of them, you know, hand on his knees and everything. I saw him. Okay, I found something. Okay. But also, I should have been looking at the lyrics too, because It was moving. Let me talk about the song first, though. Incredible. 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 I love, like, should we be looking at early Queen a little bit more? Because it's so chaotically fun, so incredibly structured. The instrumentation, the playing is great. The operatic moments are so refined and playful, especially in a track like this, which, like, you know, is based off of a source of art that, I mean, has, to me, a very colorful, playful, fanciful kind of idea to it. It just seems to really be capturing the character of the art. And what better band to do so than Queen in their own operatic prog rock kind of way. And I just think that it's so wonderfully captured. The little bits of harpsichord and piano that tickle, literally tickling the fancy, as he says, in this song is really, really unique. The vocals, of course, are fun, and Freddie just sounds amazing. I love the guitar sound as well, because at one point the guitar kind of made a sound that was almost flute-like in the body of how it sounded, in the way that it was delivered. Of course, you know, he kind of riffs it a little bit, but like just the actual sound of it, for a brief moment, confused me. I was like, oh, that kind of sounds flutish. It's not. Obviously, it was the guitar, but like, and this whole track is just so playful, and it revels in eccentricities. I think that's a great way of putting it together. That was a fun little track, only 2 minutes long. Now, I would like to read the lyrics so that way we can put things together here, okay? Let's start to take the pieces and put them together. Right now, we're building the outside of the puzzle. That way we can begin moving towards the middle. He's a fairy feller. Ah, the fairy folk have gathered round the new moon shine to see the feller crack a nut at night's noontime. To swing his axe, he swears, as he climbs he dares to deliver the masterstroke. Which, here he is. He's ready to swing that axe, crack the nut. Everyone's watching. What's going to happen? Plowman, wagoner will, and types, politician with senatorial pipe. He's a dilly-dally-o, pedagogue squinting, wears a frown, and a satyr peers under a lady's gown. Let's go ahead and, where was that? All right, so here, let's see, where's the satyr? Look for the horned man. Where am I looking? Where is he? I'm looking at characters. I'm looking for them. Peering under the lady's gown. Because I thought it was going to be like over here where the gowns are very obvious, but I don't see anyone peering, especially a satyr. Maybe it's this way. This little fellow's peering, but he's not. I mean, he's not looking under the gown. He's just looking right behind it. Where is this curious little fellow? I probably like already pointed him out, and I just missed it. Are you sure it's not someone over here? Not that I quite see. Don't worry, I'm not blocking anyone on my end. I'm probably so blind to it. Let me just keep going. Hear me out. Dirty fellow, what a dirty ladio, tatterdemalion and a junketeer. There's a thief and a dragon trumpeteer. He's my hero. The dragonflies are over here on the top. There's your dragonfly trumpeteer. That is so cool. Like, I like how they really capture the characters in this song here. Fairy dandy tickling the fancy of his lady friend. I think that was Fairy Dandy. I was thinking it was like these guys here. But maybe I just noticed that this is a guy. I just saw that this is a guy. He has one arm over here. His other arm is his eye. Okay. Are these the two fairies? I mean, they got wings. Okay, tickling his fancy. Okay. Where was I? The nymph in yellow. Can we see the masterstroke? What a queer fellow. The nymph in yellow. That's her. Yeah, that has to be her. I don't think it's her. I think it's the other one. Soldier, sailor, tinker, tailor, plowboy, waiting to hear the sound, and the archmagician presides. He is the leader. Oberon and Titania, watched by a harridan. Aren't those moons? Mab is the queen, and there's a good apothecary man. Come to say hello. Very dandy, tickling the fancy. The ostler stares with hands on his knees. Come on, Mr. Feller, crack it open if you please. The ostler stares with hands on his knees. That was right down here. The last guy right here. He's watching. Everyone's waiting for the guy to quack the nut.
Everyone's waiting for him to crack the nut. I don't know why I said quack the nut. So they captured, I mean, I've probably missed them on my end, but they've captured a lot of the people. Are these people here as well? I can't zoom anymore. You see these little guys? Right here? Can you guys see them? There's like a whole conga line of people down here. Oh, they're on his hats. They're riding his hat. This is another one of those paintings where there's a lot to look. Look at this sneaky little fellow right here. This sneaky, I can't zoom in anymore, can I? I tried. Sneaky little devilish fellow. Zooming in again. Can I go in deeper? There we go. Sneaky little man. Sneaking little troll. What else you got for me? Now we're just investigating. What else you got to me? He's washing some laundry over here. He's running. Get this out of here. What is this thing? He's got this nice royal cloak with the tri openings here. The tri cleavage on his robes. Interesting. I'm just looking. Everyone's waiting for. Everyone's just like, crack some more nuts, man. You got a few. Here's a few for you. You got some of them. She's already digging in. She's already diving into that one. He's like, sir, come on. She took my nut over here. He's reaching out and saying, she took my nut. That was going to be for both of us. So please, sir, may I have one more? And he's chock full of nuts ready to crack them open. Okay, now let's dive into some of the information on the song, but also, of course, the painting as well. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Mercury was inspired by the painting, of course, in London. The fantasy-based lyrics make direct reference to the characters and vignettes detailed in the painting and in Dad's companion poem, Elimination of a Picture and its subject, called The Feller's Masterstroke. Characters include Queen Mab, Wagner Will, the Tatterdemalion, and others. The use of the word queer in the twice-repeated line of a queer fellow has no reference to Mercury's sexuality, according to Roger Taylor. Honestly, I didn't take it that way. In some markets, the album included a fold-out cover with a reproduction of the painting. Author Neil Gaiman wrote about the painting and the album on his blog. Don't care about his blog. I want to hear from the band. I don't care about Neil Gaiman. Go back to Sandman. Go back to Pounding Sand, man. Oh, come on. That's so worth it. For the intricately arranged studio recording, Mercury played the harpsichord as well as piano, and Roy Thomas Baker played the castanets. Taylor called the song Queen's biggest stereo experiment, referring to the use of panning in the mix, which it sounds so good though. The song was performed only a few times during the Queen 2 tour, and there was thought to be no live recording of the song until 2014, when it was released on the Live at Rainbow 74 album there. Who's Queen Mab? A fairy referred in Romeo and Juliet, in which the character Mercutio famously describes her as the fairy's midwife. A miniature creature who rides her chariot over the bodies of sleeping humans during the nighttime, thus helping them give birth to their dreams. It's kind of interesting. She can't be an actual character. It's been a long time since I've read Romeo and Juliet. There weren't any fairies or like supernatural elements in Romeo and Juliet, were there? Or was he just kind of waxing poetic, so to speak? Yeah, I think he's just waxing poetic. Okay, I think he's just waxing. He's waxing. Wax on, wax off. Let's read about the painting. Dad had begun his career as a painter of fairy paintings before the onset of his mental illness. After he was committed, he was encouraged to resume painting. Hayden was impressed by Dad's artistic efforts and asked for a fairy painting of his own. This painting was worked on for 9 years, paying microscopic attention to detail and using a layering technique to produce 3D-like results. Although it is generally regarded as his most important work, Dad himself considered the painting to be unfinished. The background of the lower left corner is only sketched in. I see. Honestly, I just thought this was like a foam river of some sort. But that makes more sense. He signed the back of the canvas with the inscription, "The Fairy Feller's Masterstroke." According to Patricia Alderidge, quasi may mean that it was set aside during that period or that it took a long time to start. The end date, 1864, coincides with Dad's transfer to Broodmoor Hospital in Berkshire, the asylum where he spent the rest of his life. He also wrote a poem in which each of the characters appearing in the picture is given a name and a purpose. I like that. So not only did he paint, of course, the artwork, but then he went back on it and provided context to each of the characters, kind of adding movement and, of course, life into this painting. I think that that's really, really cool, including myriad references to old folklore, Shakespeare, in an apparent attempt to show that the painting's unique composition was not merely a product of random, wild inspiration. I mean, even without that, I don't view any of this as random. You know, I don't see how anyone could look at this and see that it's not inspired in some capacity, and probably could have been left for people to be drawn to their own conclusions. Look at all these like random little people down here. From Haydn, the painting passed to collector Alfred Morrison, whose daughter Catherine Gady gave it to the war poet Siegfried Sassoon when he married her daughter Hester in 33. Sassoon withdrew it from the Sotheby's auction in 63 and presented it to the Tate Gallery in memory of his friend and fellow officer Julian Dadd, the grandnephew of the artist and his two brothers who gave their lives in the First World War. Julian Dadd was wounded in the war and died by suicide in 37. The painting is now in the Tate Britain collection. That is really cool. I'm just sorry. Sometimes, like, obviously I'm reading because if I keep on reading, it's because I want to know and I'm enjoying it. And then sometimes if I just kind of get quiet, it's because I'm like trying to quickly scan and see if there's anything else that's interesting or that's worth noting and, you know, kind of sharing with you guys audibly rather than you just reading it. I think this is so cool, though. I still don't know where the satyr is that's looking up the lady's dress. Because I feel like it has to be here, but there's no one looking north. This isn't a satyr like Pan, a little goat man? Oh, I couldn't see it because of this thing. It's right here. He's up here on the north. Hold on, where was I? Right there. This I can't move this thing, I guess, but he's right here. Peek, and he's taking a peek. We found him, ladies and gentlemen. We found him. Anyways. Thank you so much, Nola, for the recommendation. You know I love a painting reaction. When I did that as like an April Fool's thing, I was really doing it. I was enjoying it. It's nice to kick the other side of the brain into, you know, a little bit of a gear. So, and accompanied by a great song to boot. So hope that you guys enjoyed that. Really appreciate you sticking in, watching, listening from wherever you are. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Press the like button before you leave if you don't mind. And I'll see you later. Hey, you know how you drink this cup of tea? With two lips.
Please clap.
I gotta do it.